how the hell did they, in one conversation, evaluate this thing off one video enough to make me a solid offer like that? To say, you take this offer today, there'll be 1.5 million in your wallet in Bitcoin.
Rand or dollars?
Dollars. And the deal, the paper, will be in your mail tomorrow morning, where you sign, and you're the managing director of the company until further notice at $12,000 a month. So I said, how did they make that decision? And the answer was, so Johan said, because they've done this before, they've got a lot of other games, they know at minimum they can get 1.5 million from this idea, and they know that you are the one that can make that minimum happen. And the escape clause in that contract will, if I don't make it happen, they'll replace me. So until that point, I'll have 1.5 million US in my bank account, and I'll get $12,000 a month, and then I'll get kicked out, given like a, get my 5% will be bought out at its current value, and they'll just replace me. But they determine it by what they've done before. When you've got a closed loop system like this, you can't create this closed loop until you've done something similar before. You can't create this and determine its inherency.
Ek is 100% op dieselfde bladsy as jy nou.
Yeah.
100%.
You see, so what here have we done before? That's the first question we have to ask. So in this closed loop, oh yeah, so the reason I shared that was then Johan asked me, then he tried to justify why it was better that I went with the Stanford route, I said, you don't have to justify it, because it's like, I mean, how long have we been with you? 3 months, we're already worth $1 million. Got shelter, food, water, safety, internet power, transport, stipend, a sense of community. I've got honor, I've got respect, I've got significance, I've got peace, joy, and generosity. What was that? Learning. I've got leaving a legacy. I've got self-actualization. I get to teach. I get to disciple. My closed loop works like a bomb. So, for someone now, if I want to give this a value over here,
jy kan nie.
Yeah.
Want jy kan nie geld koppel op dit gaan.
Yeah, the only way for me to give this a value is to say, all right, Beniku, I'm going to create a shelter that you can stay in. You're going to get food there, you're going to get water, you're going to be safe. That shelter is worth, because remember, it doesn't make any difference to me in my closed loop how many people are in there, because this closed loop is already making money and generating money. But Beniku to come in, it's not monetary worth that concerns me. It's ideological naturalization that concerns me. If Beniku enters my ecosystem, is he going to create more of this, or is he going to affect it? Is he going to break my laws, or is he going to conform to them?
And improve and grow.
So Beniku says, for shizzle, I'm in. And then he says, okay, what will it take? And then I say, okay, so let's call it sweat equity token. Sweat equity token. So then he says, what's it going to take to get in there? Then I say, well, a sweat equity token for me is proof of doing, proof of interest, proof of commitment. So I want you to do this course, this course, this course, this course, and this course. I want you to volunteer for 3 hours there. I want you to do that, and I want you to do this and this and this, until the combination gives you 1 million or whatever sweat equity tokens. So for me, the sweat equity token is not a physical currency that you spend at Checkers. It's a proof of safety to the community. Okay, so he does all those things as part of his naturalization. He's been coming to breakfasts, all that kind of thing. He starts speaking a language. We see he's not picking fights. He's not arguing unnecessarily. And he comes in and he spends his 1 million tokens. Right. And now what happens is he enters here and he's becoming part of this. There's farming going on now because he joined. Suddenly, we've got enough farming. Now what are we going to do with the extra stuff? So that wasn't a prerequisite for him to join. We didn't care about his promises. We cared about his ideology. He came in and naturally started farming because he's on this big piece of property with us, or in this big vision with us, and in coming in, he started farming, and he didn't need to earn money. He's farming because he wants to farm. He's not doing it because he's thinking profit. He said, I love farming.
Or survival.
Yeah, he's not thinking survival. Everything is
No,
taken
everything
care
has
of.
been provided. He's in that ecosystem where everything is provided. You just have to farm
That's it.
If
Yeah.
he wants to.
If he wants
if
to.
he wants.
Yeah. Because we're not asking him to do anything. We're just saying, don't mess with the balance. You can sit there and catch fish if you want, because you already earned that 1 million sweat equity tokens. We know that we're safe, and having you there just increases the social value. And that is the power. So social value is going to increase the worth of this entire ecosystem. I'll show you now. So he started farming. No, we can't eat everything he's farming. So we create a little farm stall over there. Suddenly, we've got fiat coming in. When the fiat hits this place,
It's sterilized.
yes, it gets sterilized and it becomes, let's call it OSTs. OS tokens, let's call it that. Right. Because in this environment, your money's no good yet. You know? If you want to go collect vegetables and stuff, we want you to spend the sweat equity token, because the sweat equity token is being earned by upholding the ideologies. That makes sense. So Beniku's farm, because Beniku doesn't need any money, he's left the mammonic system, he's left the fiat system, he's in this closed loop, he's getting all the social value, he's happy, his kids are happy, he's married, he's lekker, you know, there's no financial stress. He only works half an hour a day when he goes and looks at the farm and quickly does this and that, because a couple of the other guys who entered, they like to work. Like, you can't stop Mr. Nassim or my dad. Those guys just, they
Busy all the time.
busy, yeah. So the fiat comes in, it gets converted into this
Tokens.
OST thing. Now that's real money. That gets converted into liquidity. So it's liquidity for an actual crypto token. What am I doing? Liquidity. So there's an actual tradable token. Everybody here owns some of that token. That token is now increasing in value because liquidity is being pumped in it from Beniku's farm. Someone else checks it out and says, I'm so sick of my life. So we don't want them to come in and say, I want to make money. They must come in and say, I'm sick of my life.
That's right.
Is that making sense?
Yes. So what do we short?
Eh?
What do we short on that list that
Die
we've
wellness center wat Henry wellness center wat hulle opsit wat die
But there's such a lot of things. It's,
yeah, but
Yeah.
we
Okay, but
Okay.
I can answer that question practically. We
okay,
don't short anything, we just got to be patient.
okay.
Because we are building the ideology, we're building the community. The people who are coming here, hanging out, sharing. So Henry gets impatient at one point, you know, and, you know, he's in, you know. So there's Henry, and he's in there, and he's like, I'm impatient, we need to make this thing work. And we say, okay, to make it work, we need X fiat or X crypto, actual crypto with liquidity in those investment things. Or, so Henry has said, we want to put up a wellness center, which is here, which brings fiat into this system. So we think differently for our sweat equity and our fiat injection strategies. Beneku says, bro, we really need to start farming like we do now. So that's what we've asked Beneku for. What do you need? X fiat, X currency, X manpower. Now, right now, we don't have manpower. We've got bits and bobs here. We don't have that yet. We need liquidity first because we're in a country where 60% of our country is on welfare.
Mm.
Understand? Like, so applying a sweat equity program in a fiat system where 60% of your people are basically starving. I mean, we don't know. We pay our staff well, and we don't know how they survive. No idea. I mean, we well above like double the minimum wage.
I don't know if you noticed how expensive stuff is becoming now by the day.
I found it
The
costs
most simple
180
stuff,
rand
and
to go
that's-
watch a movie.
That's why I've got this Bina Bonner to set up a general dealer where we can supply the necessities to people at half the price, whatever.
So
Because
again-
it doesn't have to be that expensive.
So you see, again, that idea, that's why it doesn't matter to me whether you're spending tokens or not, because its job is it's outside of the ideology and it's injecting liquidity into the ideology.
Yeah.
So it's a one small town business, but it's
So should I write a business plan for that?
Yes.
yeah, that's the discipline.
For
So you
the
need to write it
the
down.
general store.
For the general store.
Yeah.
I'll write a business plan.
Did that answer your
Then I'll-
question?
Yes.
Send it to you to check it
Yes.
for me.
You can't remember your question.
No. Also, if we compare, if we fit, put in that formula the current way we understand the OST
Yeah.
plan, it fits in there. We've
Yes.
got a closed loop. It's just spread over the
Yes.
globe.
Maar dit is nie geologies op een plek.
Ja.
Dit is
It is
Yeah.
a concept.
Yeah, it's virtual.
Yeah.
So that's the power of the internet and the power of blockchain is we're creating virtual economies. We're creating our own kingdom.
You see, the thing for me is to save people and get them into the system. And it's very difficult because I remember the first couple of times I came here. Everybody here tried to figure out what is it, how does it work. So what I suggested is to maybe do a little course that
Explains this.
explains it, because we have the practical experience now.
Yeah.
Tell people, but it's not, to
Yeah, this
introduce
is
them to the
what we're
concept, to
building
make
over
it more
there.
understandable.
And we're building a practical on-site version of this
Yes.
there at Breakthrough at Charlotte. That's why we bought that property, 50 acres, because everybody there's got these things, and it's so the moment we start saying people can enter our ecosystem who want to make a profit or want to use sweat equity as cheap labor, that's still fiat.
You see, for me personally, yes, I'm part of the community and I want my spot in the community and come want to socialize.
Yes.
But these projects that run outside can
Yes.
bring massive amounts of capital
Yeah.
into the
Well,
community.
and now watch the green koki. Now, you guys observing the green koki.
Yes. Means
You've
life.
got, in the blue, you've got Anku. Anku's 100% in the blue. There's nothing else for Anku. This is Anku's life. Anku is the prophet at the center of this. He's the driving force for this Pares region. Okay. Now you see this green over here. The green is people who love the idea and would fund the idea if they had the money, and love the idea so much that they change their financial priorities. It's like when you go to a church and you've been buying yourself boats and houses and you've got 12 houses and whatever. Now you join this church, you love the church, your financial priority changes because you think, I want to help this church build. Then you'll give 10 million, or you'll make plans to earn 10 million to make that church happen. So once we understand that what we're building is a closed loop around an ideology, Henry says, listen, I've got an idea for a store there, but I'm also, here's the general store, which is red because it's, so your idea for the general store is an OST store.
Yeah.
So, okay. But, then you get Andrew. Andrew doesn't give two hoots about any of these things because for him they must be overflow. So, Henry and Andrew, Henry's out here. And he's got all these businesses working on overflow. The moment they flow over, you'll increase that liquidity.
It flows into the community.
Andrew, busy with projects. The moment he flows over, goes in there because we've bought into the ideology. You see, so we will feed into the closed loop so that the closed loop can look after the guys. So guys like Hanku, when Beniku enters this closed loop, he's not going to be interested in any of the green, maybe a bit of the red, but he'll be excited about something in here. There'll be people who go in here who all they care about. So maybe Lorette enters and she just wants to teach people stuff. She wants to love on people, you know, help people with self-actualization. In the real world, to monetize that is
Teach our
difficult.
children.
Yeah, teach the children.
Something.
You know, hug the sick. You know, whatever it is, that happens inside the closed loop. But you've got these warriors on the outside, and so that brings me to the biblical model. That's called a beit din. So in here, it's a shepherd. These are all shepherds, right? The shepherds raise apostles. Apostle is called a sent one. That's actually what it means. It's not the head of 12 churches. The correct term is a sent one. Because this is a biblical model. So your shepherds are looking after people. The typical pastor. When they've trained people nicely, those people become apostles. Apostle is a sent one. They can tell everybody about this awesome thing that's happening. They chat about it the whole time. They talk in every conversation, that kind of thing. And the apostle then convinces, so let's say the apostle's the one that spoke to Beniku. Beniku got excited. What must I do? The apostle says, hang five, I'm going to introduce you to the evangelist. The evangelist gives him the to-do list and then brings him in and introduces him to the pastor. The pastor teaches him the ideology, or the pastor and the teacher. Once they understand the ideologies, so the pastor is showing you where to live, making sure that you understand the rules of this place. The evangelist has introduced you to everybody, so he came and sat with you outside and he brought you in and he introduced you to everyone. The apostle's the one who told everybody what's going on. The teacher is now going to teach you the ideologies of this place. The prophets are the ones who come up with the ideologies, the strategies. So every time in the Bible, kings or whoever went to, kings, warriors, judges, went to a prophet, they came back with a strategy. It's not a prophecy, a strategy. They always came back. So the prophets are the ones giving strategy in this place. So they have ideas all the time. So I'm like super prophetic. You can come with anything. I'll come up with a strategy. If I don't, I'll go and pray until I do, and then I come back. That's what people all around the world. I don't want to give you prophecies. I don't, I come like, that's nice, dear, but this is how you should, this is what God says. Thus says the Lord. Do this, that. Get rid of that. Jump, there you go. Right. So what did I leave out? Apostle, teacher, pastor, prophet. Did I get them all? Evangelist. Yeah, I got them all. So that's basically your ruling council. So again, the pastor, the shepherd, they look after, make sure that all of these things are happening. They go ask you how you are and actually listen when you answer. Right? The teacher teaches you the ideologies, the laws, and the belief systems. Apostles are the ones who, once they grasp everything, they go, holy, and off they go and tell everybody. While they're telling everybody, something's happening in that apostle where it's like, I'd like to teach people these principles that I'm sharing. So then they'll grow up, an apostle grows up, and will either stay an apostle, or they can become a teacher or a pastor, or whatever, because they're the young sent ones. Not young in age, young in revelation. Someone enters the community, the pastor's looking after them, the teacher's teaching them. The entire community is getting strategy from the prophets. And the last, the evangelist is the one who introduces you to
Spreading the
everybody.
word, yeah.
No, the evangelist doesn't spread the word.
The apostles do.
The apostles do that.
Yeah.
So die
The
evangelist
evangelists,
bring up
oh, they,
Yes.
they bring you the ideology.
Yes, evangelist
They
is
teach
usually
you-
the most mature person.
They teach you the ideology.
No, the teachers teach you the
The
ideology.
teachers, okay.
Yeah, I must actually just write it all down so you can see. But the evangelist is the most mature person because they know what the prophet does, they know what the apostle does, they know what the pastor
okay.
does, they know what the ideology is, and they're able to. The apostle's young, they're just making a noise. You guys will see this, it's awesome. Yeah, we're living so lekker, really, yeah. Phone Yakins evangelist. Okay, this is the community. These are the laws, the rules, the regulations. It's they're the ones who close the deal. And now and you say, okay, the evangelist is the one who tells you how to get to 1,000 sweat equity tokens. And then you enter the community, now you're going to meet the teacher and the pastor. And only once the teacher and the pastor are happy, then you can meet the prophet.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I think this is something that we must look into to set up a explanatory video or something, or a training like this. Thank you, Andrew.
Dit is eintlik wat jy vir die Landsmond internasionaal tipe van
Ja.
pas daar werk.
Ja.